Hi. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of. Sorry for the video viewers. You can see Zachary getting a lovely memorial reuse token. All right, you good, bud? You got everything all right? You got what you need?
Hey, how's it going? Are we live or something?
A little bit, a little. Hi, everyone. Like I was saying, welcome. Just a smidge forward. Welcome to episode 5 of Henshins and Homies.
That's right.
And we're your co-hosts. I'm Frankie.
Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, Zach. That's not my birth certificate. It'd be weird if it said Hooked on Heroes on my birth certificate. Oh my god.
No, it's definitely on his birth certificate. We established this last time. All right, so go ahead. Introduce the topic, Zachary.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, there's this little, like, kind of, I don't know, not very well-known show. Nobody really talks about it, called Power Rangers DINO-FURIOUS. Otherwise known as peak fiction, as perfect fire, goat.
Tell us more about it, please. Please tell us more about it.
Which of course spawned from, well, you see, the idea came from this one show called Kishiryu Sentai Ryu Soldier. Just a minute. Hold on, we're getting there.
Yes.
Oh my god. So
I have the boring American one, guys. Sorry, I don't make those noises.
It's fine. It's fine. It's one of the tiny negatives we'll get to. But anyway, if you didn't understand from what we're doing here, we are talking about Dino-Fury Season 2, entirely Dino-Fury. Is it peak? Is it mid? Definitely peak. We're just going to spoil that right now. Yes. And also talking about Cosmic Fury. Wanted to get into some of that stuff, information we know about it. Simon Bennett's been putting in that work both in the show and online, like being open to open. Poor man. About like production things and stuff, you know? So, yeah, we're going to get into it. So Dino-Fury just ended, and I really enjoyed it. And it's interesting because Season 1 was really great. Awesome. And I was like, okay, cool, they're going to do a Season 2, and they're not calling it Super. Thank God.
Thank goodness.
And I was like, okay, I guess it's weird having 2 seasons of the same adaptation. That's really weird to me, and I hope this is the end of that. But I was like, okay, let's see where else they go with it, because there's still some threads hanging. And they knocked it out of the park. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
It took everything that worked from the first season, multiplied it to 1 billion, you know, and it also, like I was telling Frankie earlier, it's so impressive to me how the Power Rangers adaptation to me is almost on the same level of how much I love Ryu Soldier, which is crazy to say, because usually Power Ranger adaptations come nowhere near their Sentai counterparts. Even the good ones don't. Like, people start like, well, I do like the Sentai better, you know? But Dino-Fury is built different. Like, very much so built different.
Absolutely.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Oh, man. And honestly, like, working with the Ryu Soldier footage was a really big part of why Dino-Fury was great. But the other reason why it's absolutely fantastic from episode 1 of season 1 to the last episode in season 2 is because of how original it has been, through the characters, with the stories, with the arcs that have been going on from the first season all the way to the end of the second season. You know, like, it has stayed so consistent, and it's been so careful with the things that it talks about, that even the filler episodes feel important, or if anything, deserved, or not shoehorned in, you know?
Absolutely.
And I honestly cannot think of a Ranger season that hasn't been that way since, I don't know, like RPM, I guess? Like, it's been a very long time since a season has genuinely been this good.
Right.
In my opinion.
It was, agreed. I would say for me, it was probably just not normal Dino Charge. Most of Dino Supercharge I am fine with, but except for a little bit how it ends. But then again, that also set up the multiverse thing for Power Rangers, and that was fine too. Anyway, that was the last time. Ever since then, I've just kind of been like, oh, there we go, another season. I guess I'll take a nap.
In the thumbs.
Because Ninja Steel, I checked out of entirely. I couldn't give a shit less. and Beast Morphers as well. Which, a little side note here, I just saw some of this thread recently today from Simon Bennett. Come to find out, sheet's been pulled completely off now, and we know all the secrets. Every little bit that you hated of Beast Morphers, of Ninja Steel, Dino Supercharge, it started with Dino Supercharge, where Saban started being really strict on what they wanted the show to be and how many things they wanted in it. Things that go in and make no sense just because they're going to sell a toy. Some random executive that for some reason really liked the fart joke. And if I'm not mistaken, fart jokes in what's it called, Ninja Steel. If I'm not mistaken, if I read the comment right, the way that Simon wrote that comment looked as though it said they literally got not like generated like stock fart noises. No, auditioned for fart noises to have more fart noises and have more fart jokes in Ninja Steel.
We've reached the bottom of the barrel, folks. This is the kind of decision making
pain coming from Simon that like now is gone, been released from him with what we've gotten with Dino-Fury. You can see how free it feels, how it's able to tell its own story. It's working within the restrictions. The whole one of the things that was a little bit weaker to me is when they introduced Ion, that their conflict that they had was like in the same episode taken care of, but that's not a story weakness as much as a forced by like Nickelodeon type production thing that they had to follow, kind of a rule thing. But other than that, you see the freedom all the way throughout telling the stories. I mean, we have our first openly gay ranger, our LGBT representation.
We've had many, and I mean many relationships in PR before, but this is the very first time that it is a lesbian couple instead of a heterosexual couple.
And well-written.
It opens the door. Exactly. Not even just like okay, I'll be honest. Sometimes when TV programs try to be more inclusive, they seemed a little forced doing it. You know, like they have to include it just to get that audience to watch their show.
Absolutely.
And so they could do something like, oh yeah, this person is gay, but you know, that's all that there is about them. They're just gay, and that's the only great personality trait that they have. Everything else.
You ever hear the trope of Fridge the Gays, where the gay character ends up being the one that dies in every show that has a gay character?
Exactly, right?
Really awful.
Point is, LGBTQ characters in most shows don't really get the kind of appreciation that Izzy's character did in Dino-Fury. And, you know, I can speak for a lot of people in the community when I say that seeing Izzy be openly gay and not have it come off as unnatural or awkward
or forced.
Forced is such a huge relief. And I honestly can't commend Power Rangers enough for doing something like this. I'll be honest, it seems like they were afraid to do something like this. And I don't look at that and think,
but with Ninja Steel?
I don't understand it because, a lot of TV programming is afraid to be inclusive with this kind of stuff. But Power Rangers Dino-Fury, they said, you know what? Make Izzy gay. Yeah. Make Izzy one of the girlies. And you know what? She ate. She ate throughout the whole series. Yeah. And I love her for that.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, there was another little thing, this is from a little while back, that the actor who plays Monty said that he played the character as though his character was in love with Victor and that they were in a relationship. So that was the way he wanted it to be, but that clearly, network things get in the way and blah, blah, blah. So,
right. Yeah. Same thing with like Riley in Dino-Charge, right? Like his character, his actor played Riley as if he was a gay character, but it wasn't really ever said. And so, that's the show's way of saying like, oh yeah, you could think he is, but we're not going to tell you if he is. And that's not really representation.
Exactly.
That's just...
And I really like the beautiful way it was put together too, because like, so they introduced Fern in the one episode, which is like this character episode for Izzy, where she has this rival for like half a minute. And then a few episodes later, it's just the way they do it is so natural. It's not like a thing where they're like, wow, and they like stare at her for a while or make it awkward. It's just like, yeah, I have a crush on this girl and I don't know how to tell her. And her brother's like, and he doesn't even know. Hobby's dumbass. He doesn't even know it's the girl. He thinks it's this other dude. And it ends up not even being him.
Mess.
It is, but it's a beautiful mess. But they do
it
so well.
The end of the episode was beautiful. But Javi's focus throughout the whole thing, I'm just looking at him like, you for real?
He is one of the tiny itty bitty negatives for me in the series. But overall,
we'll get to characters in a minute.
A really fantastically well-written season, well-directed, lots of original fight footage. The fight choreography that they do for the different fights
and out of the suit.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like, and people that are like, oh, there's no civilian fights. Please stop telling people who produce these shows that you know better than they do when you live in your mother's basement and are currently typing this, please. Thank you. Have some logic. Have some tact.
Please.
Have
some decorum. All right.
Oh, God, but the original fights are great. One of my favorites was in Season 2, Part 2 with Izzy near the end. She has this original fight footage against a bunch of the henchmen. And it's when it's when, full spoilers, clearly. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert for the whole season of DINO-FURIOUS.
Madame Noir, Tokyuger / Void Queen throws out all of the the Sporks Beasts, right? So it's Izzy fighting a bunch of them at the same time and henchmen. Holy cow. And then
they did not miss.
From the entire season is right at the end when they're fighting the like Eris thing, which was the Nemesis Beast, and they're
if you're gonna make a commentary about the finale, let's save that for later because the finale is a whole other topic of like, oh my god, like I'm smiling just thinking about it.
And you know what? I want to say this too. So Simon Bennett is an absolute saint. We love him and support him. Thank you, sir. If you're watching this stream, we love you. If you're not, that's okay also. But I want to say this. I remember a while back, right when DINO-FURIOUS Season 1 started, either I put something out or somebody did asking about Tiramigo. Going to be involved, suit, blah, blah, blah. And I remember getting a comment from him saying...
You mean this guy?
Yeah,
this
man.
Right here?
My friend. I remember getting a comment from him that said something along the lines of the suit is very bulky and we didn't want to, for just like one day, take up all the shooting time for this one suit actor who was going to be like overheated basically using it because they're shooting in New Zealand. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like I was like, oh cool, just want to know, blah, blah, blah. And I let it go because I'm an adult. And then and then season
Take
2
notes, guys.
comes out, and we get to this Wishmaster episode, and Izzy just gets straight turned into Tiramigo, and I absolutely had to pause it, walk outside, and scream in absolute happiness that my man Tiramigo was represented even for just a moment.
I was so surprised. I was so surprised.
There was even original footage of him. I noticed it because I know. And I know when the footage is live,
of course. Like, there's original footage of the Tiramigo suit inside of the base with the American cast. Like, they can't do that without...
And Javi has this great dumb joke about, like, she's like, she goes, oh my god, I don't know what's Fern going to think. She won't want to date a dinosaur. And he goes, I don't know. She's pretty open-minded.
She's pretty open-minded. Javi, go teleport somewhere else for a minute.
Stop.
I need you to go somewhere else for a minute, because this right here... No, Javi the whole episode, he was being a little selfish about those wishes. He needed to get a reality check. Like, this is what's going on in the moment.
Yes.
Oh my god, I don't know if you can hear these fireworks. They're celebrating DINO-FURIOUS, I'm telling you.
That's what I thought in our podcast.
Exactly, hello. No, but Javi in that episode, he was being very selfish. But he made it up in the end. Alright, look. Let's get into talking about our favorite moments, our favorite episodes in each season.
Okay.
So, you want to go first?
Yeah. I would say, honestly, for me, it would be like episode 1 and 2 of season 1, and then the finale of it is decent because how it leads into season 2.
That's 3 episodes, Zachary.
No, I'm sorry.
It's just that good, guys. It's hard to pick one.
Season 1, episode 2, because that's the one where we get the 3 of them morphing together for the first time and him going, smooth. And that little thing we get, it's like the little things about Zato, which, by the way, is absolutely like one of my number 1 favorite Red Rangers we've gotten in this entire franchise. He is so well written,
He has a lot of personality. Maybe more in most episodes and then less in others. But he has personality. They just sometimes don't really show it off because other characters are getting a focus.
Exactly.
But Zato is great.
Yes,
from day one, I was like, "Oh, we're in for a ride."
Well, and the
we're
thing
in for
I
a
like
ride with
about
him
is that I'm not the kind of person. There's certain people that I know online that are fans of Real Soldier that are like, they didn't do the exact same thing. They ruined blah 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 blah. And I'm like, whoa. Let them do their own thing. If they happen to make them similar, that's fine. And if they don't, that's okay too. but he had like little flares of Ko, where Ko wanted to like always like be protecting everybody and didn't really like think first before he jumped in. Zato had moments of that where he would want to protect people and wouldn't think of the danger first because he was a knight, because he was knightly and wanted to keep people safe. The chivalry
that
situation,
and also
right?
how he lost his previous team, you know, so it's
Exactly.
not such a stretch to imagine that Zato, seeing his new teammates in danger, would want to jump in and save them.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
to, you know, not repeat what happened in the past.
So that was really good. As far as season 2, oh Jesus, I will say I enjoyed.
Besides the finale, by the way.
Yes, definitely the finale. Duh. I think it's weird saying this because I really enjoy Max Russo-Red's debut in the original in Rio Soldier, but
Right.
I'm not mad about how they did it in this. I think that they could have done a bit more to have like human Tarek involved with the team a bit more.
Yeah.
To like build up the emotion to it a little, but I still was fine with it because I turned my brain off and I get to see my favorite suit and all of the so I
You're
don't
like
really care.
Max Reese Red, love, you know? No, absolutely. I do agree that they could have done a little bit more with Tarek in that episode.
Yeah,
It was very jarring to see that he was fighting for the team after, like, you know, a few episodes before he was like,
right. Which
you
makes
know,
sense when you get to the end of everything, as far as his motivations for things, as far as trying to find his daughter.
yeah,
and
I like how they
keeping her
took their
gone,
time. I
blah,
like
blah,
how they
blah,
took their
blah.
time revealing his motive, you know?
Yes.
Because, like, with a lot of villains, like, oh, I just want to destroy Earth. Like, okay, cool, that's great.
And that was-
Join the club. But Tarek, or Void Knight / King, later. Well, not Void King. Void King has,
king,
like, a whole
real
different
king,
motive.
a true king.
Well, you know, not for us, but for the Sporks, sure. Void Knight, specifically, he had the motive of simply just reviving his love and just leaving. Like,
yeah,
he
and that's what I think drew me in too. Other than the team, was like I was like, how are they already doing something completely different from everything with Nada? Like, I just want to know what they were going to do, because I was like, I love Geistwork, I love Nada. What are they going to do with that suit? They're using it. He's like the main villain. What are we doing here? Because we don't have, like in Rio Soldier, we had the other general people that are in this too as the main people, and then Geistwork was kind of on the side, snaking his way through doing stuff. Where in this, he's front and center. There's a
Episode 1.
ton
He's the
of
first suit we've
original
seen.
footage with him. And I like being called out from the beginning about Zato going, hey, where did you get that armor? I recognize it. And then it ends up eventually being the warped version of the Dino
Knight changer,
armor. Yeah, Dino Knight armor. Dino Knight battleizer. They're just afraid. It's fine. It's okay. You can say it. It's all right.
I will just put this little, like, note right here in the episode. The names of most suits, like Dino Knight armor, what was, like, the newer one called? It was the Dino Master Mode. Yeah, Dino Master Mode. I like the mode. Oh, let me get to the episode in a minute. But I don't know. I just feel like the names could have been a little bit more creative, but I feel like that's not really the writers or, like, the team's fault.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing with, like, naming the series Dino Fury. Like, they couldn't have done anything a little bit more creative just because the kiddos maybe
and again,
wouldn't understand it too well.
It's one of those goofy restriction things, and you know it. It was before they were off Nickelodeon and beholden to Netflix, who gives way more freedom. So if it would have been Netflix all the way, it would have been called Jurassic Order. It would have been called Dino Knights, something fucking cooler.
Something a little bit more cooler. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it could just be a little bit cooler, in my opinion.
When you think about it, dinosaurs are usually furious. When you really think about it. I mean, come on.
It's true. No, it's true.
They're not represented as happy.
Well, sometimes, I guess. In this series, they are pretty ferocious. So, for me, my season 1 favorite episode would have to be the episode where Javi and Izzy become Rangers. That episode, from beginning to end, never missed a beat. Yes. Everything in that video, in that episode, was perfect. So good, so well written. Best way to introduce new characters. And then the fight.
Oh yeah.
The fight that they literally called back to in the finale. Like, so good with Izzy and Javi, like with their Ryusoukens. You should bring out your Ryusoukens.
Here you go.
Exactly. I have like 2 at the same time. And then Javi's just kicking it, whipping it around. Yeah, right. Having the time of his life. And then, what was it? Like Boom Tower? Yeah. he got his butt whooped. You know, like everything about it, amazing, amazing,
It was so
so
great.
good.
It
And
was so
then to
great.
see the whole team together, and it's like, oh, we're
Well,
here,
and what
we're
was cool
finally
with
here.
that was they
The
did the
core five, the
dynamic.
core five.
Yeah, exactly. We got the core five, and then they had again. It's a thing where they weren't Toa and Bamba, but they still had a like sibling relationship that was like
Oh,
well put together
absolutely.
and well developed. You know?
Yeah, there's some episodes where like you can tell that they used like Toabamba footage where it's just green and black, so they had to like make Izzy and Javi go somewhere else. But I kind of like moments where it's just them and then they end up fighting together because it shows off that sibling relationship that
Mm-hmm.
Ryusoulger did as well. But instead of
Yeah.
just brothers, it's a brother and sister. And honestly, can I just say their family dynamic in this show is a lot more wholesome than Ryusoulger. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
100%, especially
Yeah.
with the parents.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot
Bamba did a
better.
lot of shut up, Toa.
No, that and Bamba was just very closed off, and then Toa was just very everywhere.
He
Like
wouldn't
just like
open,
his
wouldn't close his mouth.
Aya soul. Exactly. Like he's just very fast, always doing something. I like
And I
how
like
they
how,
used Izzy's like track star like
yes.
record as
Oh.
a personality in the suit, because sorry,
Yeah.
Toa was like that too, so it's like it works out.
And
I
that
love
was
that.
one tiny thing that was a little odd to me was that with Javi, to me, personality wise and fighting wise, outside of the suit, didn't quite match
Didn't really
Bamba.
match.
He
Yeah.
sometimes had the like stoicness, kinda, but he was much more of a goofball than Bamba ever was. Well, Bamba had his moments, but Bamba was normally like, "I am Bamba. Fuck off. Don't be in our team."
Right. I feel like with Javi, it was kind of the hardest to make his character translate to Bamba, because Bamba in Breeze Soldier, he's so serious most of the time, but then Javi's like, oh, let me get a guitar and let me just like play around. Like he's just as goofy as everyone else. But it's hard to like really show that kind of personality when the fight footage is just
Mhm.
like him being like the most badass swordsman you've ever seen. You stop to think like, damn, like where did Javi learn all this?
And,
you
it
know?
would be interesting because they so now that the show has ended, Simon Bennett has revealed a bunch of different like behind the scenes stuff and like production notes or whatever. And he
You're
had a
gonna talk
board.
about the whiteboard?
Yeah, because he talked about that Javi was once going to be a metalhead with like long hair and stuff. And I think that honestly, the way Javi is dressed does not fit his personality at all. He's dressed like this like burly biker, straight like I don't go to fucking school, dude. No, I smoke cigs in the fucking parking lot, in the teacher's parking lot, and I flip them off as I go get a drink with my friends. Like, you know
Whoa,
what I mean?
whoa,
Like the
whoa,
like
whoa.
skipping school to go play battle of the bands. Like, and he's not.
Look, his outfit choices, I don't really mind.
I
It's
don't mind
just,
them.
an
They just
outfit.
don't fit his character to me.
I get it. I get it. I totally see what you mean.
They
I feel
get
like,
somebody who's more rugged and like willing to like be a little like on the edge, if you will, kinda, than what Javi is usually like willing to do. I guess you could say. So
right. Yeah. Well, look, that's my favorite episode for season 1. Season 2,
whole season.
uh, yeah. Moving on to the next topic. No, besides the finale, season 2, my favorite episode would definitely need to be the episode where Ollie and Amelia get. I'm kidding. The episode where there's so many great episodes. I have to like stop and think about it. Oh, I want to say like when they.
Dino night mode. What was that? Where did that?
Yeah. I was trying to think of that. The fight where Dino Knight Armor and Dino Master Mode were together. Like the golden red fight.
Yeah.
That episode was
Yeah.
pretty good. I
Well,
want to get the name, but
it was
a
really
really
good
episode.
because to me, I
Let me get the
instantly
name.
remembered the Sentai episode and like Ko.
Yes,
and,
me too. Me too.
Oh my god. Kanalo's relationship was not exactly similar because they weren't, well, kinda, but it had similar air to it, and they just cranked it up to 10 in Power Rangers because Ion and Zato were on the same team and have been, like the original Dino Fury team and this team right now.
Right.
So I think that was really strong, and it was cool seeing them fight together as well. And I like the creation of that sword, the whole Morphin Master thing.
Yeah, the Morphin Master being incorporated.
They gave a few too many things to the Green Morphin Master that she was responsible for.
Yeah.
But I still liked it as like a reason as to why some goofy thing happened. And it clearly made itself into a meme. It went right with his pants down, just ready to be made into a meme. I mean, but I like that.
Simple explanation for that.
I like that she was made the sword, and she warned them it was similar to the real Soul Calibur, where they said that was what sealed away Eris, and that to use it would do the same and probably kill somebody. Same thing here. It was so powerful that if you used a certain attack with it, it would kill you. I mean, clearly we know some things that happen. We don't know if that's true. But yeah, I like how DINO-FURIOUS does such a good job of taking little like flourishes from Real Soldier and swirling it in like a nice little blender and giving you a nice little mixed drink afterwards that tastes like Real Soldier but looks like DINO-FURIOUS.
Right, like again, they take what Real Soldier gave and made it their own. And you would think like, okay, duh, like that's what Power Rangers is. They take Sentai footage and make it better, or like not better, at least different.
No, there's so many seasons that don't.
They don't do that. They just copy it scene for scene, or at least like Zachary agrees. No, I'm saying that like there are most seasons that do that, right? And it's okay, but they're not making it to the list. You know what I'm saying? Like they aren't different.
Well, people dig right Time Force all day long, but when you go and watch Time Ranger, it's not Samurai levels of like, you know, same story.
Similarity,
I mean, the pink in it, and you know, what's her name? In Time Force. Oh my God, it's Wes and Jen. There you go, Jen.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, not 100%. Few episodes scant I watched of Time Ranger. She either A, mostly, or B, every single episode wears the verbatim outfit that her counterpart does in Time Ranger.
Right.
Down to the jacket, everything.
They said we don't need to fix that. That's perfect. Let's not do anything with that. The Invasion is the name of the episode. Sorry if I was looking down. For most of that. Yeah, The Invasion for season 2 is my favorite episode. I absolutely love that.
I have a
fight scene.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, that's basically it. Like I'm in love. I'm in love with that fight scene. It's so fun how they like, and I'm pretty sure they debuted a clip from that episode at Power Morphicon. No,
I believe so.
That was when they like first showed Dino Master Mode for the first time, and it was gold. Which, by the way, Black Ranger got to use Dino Master Mode, and that's so cool. I love it when Power Rangers does stuff like that, where something that the Sentai couldn't do, they do instead. Like they did or couldn't do, Power Rangers does instead. You know, with Amelia, she debuted Blazing Battle Armor, which was the first like real power up of the series. When have you ever heard a Pink Ranger?
That was another moment I had to debut a power up. Yeah, that was another moment I had to pause it and be like, wait, that didn't happen in Real Soldier. But I'm like,
and it was so nice to
happy?
see. And then Black got to use Electro Battle Armor.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Well, that too. Look at Javi. Look at Javi. He's doing a lot of things with these armors. No, it's great. It's great. I love it.
If only he in civilian form got as much as he did in Ranger form. Anyway.
That's a good segue. That's a fun segue to our next point. Let's talk about characters.
Okay.
So, we'll get to Javi. We'll get to Javi a little later. And we already kind of touched on Zato a little bit, so we'll lightly touch on him. Zato is a leader, the Rafconian Knight, who goes on Earth to defeat the Sporks. He has to fight the greatest battle of his life, but then all of a sudden, everything goes wrong. He needs to... what happens is that he ends up being spit out of the Megazord, and now he's frozen, like Captain America frozen.
They die. So yeah, no, I'm being legit. The rest of his team actually dies. I wish I was kidding about that. They focus on it and show, yep, we're going to stay behind. You go, Zato. We're good. And the rest
they even
of
go
team
into
just murdered.
Exactly. Ion too. Ion and Zato managed to escape, but unfortunately the other four couldn't. And I like how Power Rangers like didn't forget about that as if it wasn't important, because it is a very important thing and very big part of their characters, both Ion and Zato. They even had an episode related to the PTSD. Oh, hello. I love how you have him in his pose. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying how they have an episode focused on the PTSD from that episode, from that moment.
It's when they get Cosmo Raptor. Yep.
Exactly. Anyway,
nice.
So I have that to talk about Cosmic Fury later. So yeah, it's great that Zato battled his demons throughout the whole series to become such a stoic leader that he was in the show. And I honestly, like we said, can't imagine like a Red that has gone to the level of like okay, yes, there were a lot of other Reds, like Time Force Red, like he's like there's a lot of layers to him.
Yeah.
And even like right, and even like Neo Saban era Rangers, like not Samurai, but Tyler from Dino Charge, like he had some stuff going on with his dad, you know, and that never really like disappeared until like season 2, and kind of like forgot about. Anyway, Dad. It was rough. It was hard, but Zato, like I love how like they don't. I was gonna say
don't shy away from it.
Down.
They don't shy away from it.
They don't shy away from it. That's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Amelia?
So I think that she is a pretty great character. I think from beginning to end she's well written. She has decent arcs to her. She never is annoying. I like from the very beginning, you know that she's a journalist. She's interested in the supernatural, thinks it might have something to do with her parents in the way that she thinks. She even says it in one of the episodes. I felt like if I pursued the supernatural, maybe I'll find some kind of explanation because nothing else makes sense as to what happened to my parents. Can we talk about that with her? Is that okay to talk about the thing with her and the stuff?
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
So,
spoiler alert. Okay, go ahead.
I am totally fine her being the kid of Tarek and Centaur, right? Totally cool. Love the whole connection there. Giving it to Pop. They think he died. They're angry. Our baby. How dare you? We hate humanity. Whatever. It makes sense. A little rushed. Don't know how he redirected the fucking tech to make the armor, but it's fine.
That's just some background stuff that we're assuming.
So that was fine
to know.
I was a little caught off guard. Like I was fine that she was Ravkonian, but I missed where Tarek said that he was and Santara were. I knew they were aliens, but they never made aliens that they were from Ravkon.
Yes, and I feel like that plays into the twist.
I'll give him a pass for not being like, oh, that Pink Ranger in human form sure looks like what our daughter might look like. But I'll give them a pass for that. I won't give them a pass for clearly hearing Zato talking about Ravkon, and there never being a connection and them never saying anything, or like if they were adding something where they were like some like maybe like political refugees or something like that, like they did some shady shit and now they're like they left the Ravkon to like for escape to somewhere, cool. Or that he was like a scientist that worked on the Spork generator machine thing. We'll get to that in a minute. Lord Zed did something. Holy shit. And worked on that, and that he feels guilty about that, but he's now focused on getting his wife back because his daughter's gone. Like that'd have been cool. But so it's not Amelia's problem. I'm fine her being Ravkonian. I think it's cool how her abilities as being Ravkonian, that she can do the whole touch and you can see the memories thing. Solved the end of the show a little bit, was cool. We kept going back to that, the whole antenna and like that being a thing. And I like the little point where she talks to Zato and Ion, and she's like, how come it's happening now? And Zato's like, oh, well, it happens in great times of stress and emotion. It's different for everybody. Ion's like, yeah, mine. I was a late bloomer, and everybody made fun of me for it. I really like that.
Ion, you'll get
nice
your
little slice of life, alien life thing that we don't need, but it still adds a lot.
It's a really funny joke for them to relate something like that to puberty. Yeah.
So I really liked it. I think she's a really good character. She honestly felt more. It's weird because usually in Sentai and Power Rangers to an extent, the Blues fall into second in command a lot. But she, to me, felt like more second in command than anyone else on the team.
Oh, from the jump.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She was the one that wanted to investigate the hole that Void Knight made. She was the one that told Ollie, hey, maybe don't try to merge alien tech with your mom's drone. That's a pretty dumb idea. She was the thinker.
Yes.
Yo. This is gonna segue into Ollie. I have a lot to say about this man. Oh, okay. Let me collect myself. The show, Dino Fury, produced by Hasbro, wants us, the viewers, to think that Ollie is the smart one of the team, which he is. Yeah, it's book smart. Yes, scientifically, he knows his stuff, especially with like theories and stuff like that. But that's kind of it.
But, we have a Void Knight and somebody who's void of street smarts.
No, literally, and I want to say, in my opinion, Ollie just wasn't meeting the mark that everyone else was setting. You got a little itch?
Oh,
got a little itch there. Oh, what's that? What? That's crazy how it just ended up there. I can't. To be honest, I kind of wish they had like a whole transformation sequence, just like the Rangers.
Yeah, that made me mad.
But whatever. It's fine. But yeah, anyway, Ollie, my man's. Sometimes, and this isn't towards Kai Moya anyway. He did a great job portraying Ollie, and that goes for every other character. But Ollie sometimes needs to learn to shut up.
Absolutely.
I mean it.
Yeah.
For real.
Yep.
100% of the time, Ollie is always trying to be like the brains of the team.
He's just so stubborn about being right, even if it means being an asshole to somebody.
Right.
They'll realize that they're wrong, and it's like, but you're a dick.
he's kind of arrogant in that way, and it gets frustrating sometimes because there's like at least 3 episodes where this was like the main plot, that Ollie was like being an asshole, and then we kind of just had to like wait until we figured out that he was being an asshole. Literally, Ion's debut, what was he doing? Counting gumballs instead of doing the interview for Javi. Oh, Amelia likes ghosts? Why are you wasting your time doing something like that? Why do you need your professor to tell you
you're hot, but...
Right. Oh. Amelia and Javi. I mean, sorry. Whoa. Amelia and Ollie. Sorry. Ollie, Javi. Come on. Can you believe me? They just don't match. I'm sorry. I said it, guys. I said it. They don't make a good couple in my eyes.
Strongest combination. I see what they were going for.
You're being a little too nice.
But I think... But I just think that...
Don't sugarcoat it, Zachary.
No, hear me out. So
okay.
I think that it owes mainly to what you were just saying about Ollie, that he's so sporadic in the way that he's written, in the way that he interacts with people in the show, that for him, it's not really an all of a sudden, because you can see little moments here and there where he's like, I was a dick to her and blah, 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 or he hugs her a little too long and whatever. So like when they finally just absolutely reveal their feelings for each other, I was like, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't like, well, I was like, okay, do something with that. And they mostly do. I mean, I don't like that it was followed pretty closely by an episode where he's an absolute a-hole to his mother for no goddamn reason at all.
No reason.
He throws it back at him. He just turns into Megazord asshole for absolutely more of no
Megazord
reason.
Asshole.
Like he forms the Primal Ultra Dickhead Zord for no reason at all. And she's just like, okay, cool, man.
Yo,
even Amelia's
the patience
like,
this woman had. Everyone was like that. They were like, Ollie, we know you're not the best, but this is a whole new low for you. Like, what are you doing? Oh, he was just the most complicated.
Yes.
In the series.
Yes.
He could have been nicer in a lot of cases. I do
like that he was like a pseudo rival of Lord Zed out of absolutely nowhere. Like,
for what? Look at me in the eyes and tell me one good reason why.
I mean, you're not wrong. didn't do much
Give
except make
me
the rap
a
content.
reason. I'll wait right here.
You're so angry.
I'll wait
you
right
interrupted
here.
your internet connection.
I'm sorry, I spiked. I'm sure. No, but I'm just gonna wait right here for someone to tell me a reason why Lord Zed, the Emperor of all evil that has been hyped up for the longest time this whole season, is the antagonist of who? Ollie.
Yeah. You know, it's weird in saying that. So, like, yeah, it's dumb. But, like, at first, when I first saw the images that he was going to be in it, right, I was like, oh, it must be some goofy flashback thing. It's a fantasy. You're playing with their mind, blah, blah, blah. No, he's legit there. And I was like, okay, but how? And they're like, nah, he's straight time displaced asshole Zed who hasn't even been purified yet. And he gets here, not even confused, and just like, all right, cool. Fucking throws Void Knight around like he's nothing. Everyone else too, and is like, deuces, I'm the new boss, bitch, and takes over. Then he just kind of pieces out, and I don't know why they let him leave. That's kind of odd to me. And then my man goes toe-to-toe with a Morphomaster. Then, the cherry on top, my man is single-handedly responsible for the destruction of the entirety of Rafcon. I was like, okay, you already like wrecked the entire team of Mighty Morphin, destroying the Dinozords, destroying the Dino coins, I thought, too. That was instrumental in that with Goldar. And just wrecking their life in general until he was made a joke in Zeo.
Right.
And then you just decided to be like, you'd think that he'd have a moment of being confused, being in a new timeline, and like, where's the other team I was fighting? But no, he's just like, all right, cool. Whose life can I fuck up now? Let's do it. I want chaos to happen because I like it. I want people to suffer.
Look. Since we're on the topic of Zed, I don't like it.
Really? I don't love it, but like
I don't like it. It feels like one of the only moments in Dino Fury where it feels very forced. It feels like, yes, we have the Morphin Masters, we have a callback to previous seasons. That's for the nostalgic fans.
Sure.
But I feel like the number one thing that Dino Fury did to bring back, especially the MMPR fans, was to bring back Lord Zed. And it works in the story. Like, okay, yeah, I can see why he's back. I get it.
Yeah.
And yes, him destroying a planet is absolutely dreadful. It shows the power level that he has. Like, this isn't monster of the day.
And
exactly.
I think it was super messed up because Zato and Ion had just, for one, found each other again, and for two, been like, cool, we got the message, let's get back to our planet. Nobody there. They must be somewhere. And then their planet gets wiped out, and they're just, it's like twice now, man. But they've been like completely decimated emotionally by the loss of their people and planet and everything.
It was a whole thing to get the messages just to find the planet. And then when they went to those coordinates, it wasn't even there.
Bullshit Scrazzle from fucking Beast Morphers, our original ass Finster ass guy from fucking Beast Morphers, was also a part of it. It was like, and like,
I'm glad they brought him back though, because Beast Morphers made it clear that he wasn't done evil scheming, and him helping out Lord Zed seems natural. But like I said, I don't really like it. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I just think
that I like
they could have done something
being the
a little bit better.
Of MMPR I am.
Yeah, no, look, you're not wrong. Like, you or anyone else, you're not wrong for liking Lord Zed contribution to the season, because it was actually very important to have someone like Zed around to keep the Rangers on their toes
as well.
Yes. Exactly. Because, like you said, the stakes are higher. Now we got Lord freaking Zed just walking around whenever he feels like it.
That was the only thing, like I said, that was the only weird, goofy thing, is that Halloween episode happens, he's there, and he's just like, deuces! And they just don't worry about it until season 2. And I
mean, to be fair, what could they do, right? Because...
Listen, guys.
He teleported way off. I mean, for all they knew, he could have went to, like, some Armada ship and...
Well, and I also like that
destroyed their planet.
In that episode, right, they're like, let's get him, as they think they're going to kick his ass, and we see Lord Zed straight beat ass of the whole team, which isn't something we get a lot in Mighty Morphin. There was like
I won't lie, that was pretty cool.
But him just like straight destroying the whole team, like, yeah, this is easier.
Again, showing off that power level.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Um,
All right.
yeah.
Finale time.
Okay. This finale, holy shit!
Hands
It's
down.
kind of a. Go ahead.
Hands down, the best episode of like any Neo Saban. I'm saying it right here, right now.
Yeah.
Any Neo Saban season.
There is a clear reason this show, with just that finale, instantly pushed its way right into my top 3 seasons of Power Rangers. It was just top 5 at first, and then that finale happened, and so that it. Oh my god.
Where do we start? Okay, let's start with this. The fact that it was technically a 4-parter,
right?
Like
The
last
with
4 episodes
coming in. Yes. Right.
Right. Like,
well,
yeah, it was a little bit more gradual.
But
okay, look. The whole season, and I mean like season 1 and 2, were building up to whatever Void Queen was going to do with those sporks. Well, at first it was Void Knight, then it was Void Queen, then it was Void Queen and King. You know, but at the end we always knew that the sporks were going to play a really big part in the final episode.
They were so creative.
I did not see them using that suit as like an embodiment of sporks, or like I don't know what it technically is. I mean, it came from an egg. I don't.
Did you see Simon Bennett's thing calling it a meat cockpit?
Ew. I mean, to be honest, the flapping of the skin. I mean, we've seen grosser in PR, but that's definitely up
visible. There. You see that? In space, Dino Thunder, Dino Fury. Right there.
Woo!
Yes.
Right there, y'all. Y'all see it.
But no, you're right. Like, the lead up to it, it's been so long since we've had lead up to a fucking finale in Power Rangers. And
let's take Ninja Steel, for example, right? This is what we don't want to see. An example of how not to do... we still have 20 minutes left to record. All right. No. Ninja Steel was a season. It was a season. I can attest to that. But the finale, the way that it was handled, was not good. That was the most rushed, most anticlimactic thing you could have done for a Power Ranger season, especially for a super season.
Yeah.
At that, like we have 2 seasons, and you're telling me like that's the best you could have came up with. It wasn't good. And look, if you like the Ninja Steel finale, okay, cool, that's you.
Yeah.
But most people stop. Literally, most people can agree that it just wasn't fun. Like, even if you were a fan of the Ninja Steel season, you could probably agree with me when I say that the season finale just didn't really hit the mark. Nowhere near, to be honest. Now, let's look back at Dino Fury. Let's describe what Dino Fury did right and what Ninja Steel didn't do right. Dino Fury had a 4-episode lead up to this finale.
Yep.
Ninja
Fleshed
Steel
out characters. So you cared about the stakes, by the way.
Right. And by the way, stakes were high. Very high.
You know what my favorite thing in Ninja Steel was when they did a really good job dealing with the fact that Brody was fucking kidnapped on an alien spaceship for most of his life, and now all of a sudden is free and would have clear PTSD from being a prisoner most of his life. Remember when they dealt with it? Do you remember when they don't?
They don't seem to remember. They don't. Sorry. Very frustrating to see lost potential in a season. Dino Fury didn't do that, though. Dino Fury took what they had and not only worked with it, but they somehow managed to do even more than expected. And I'm telling you, my most favorite part about this finale, the final episode, was the fight scene. At the core of it all, right? Power Rangers is the most recognized for people fighting in spandex and whatever that entails, you know? So we've seen it over and over again. Big Bad, the most powerful he, she, they, whoever have been. Exactly. It has been, sometimes they're robots. the entire season. They're the strongest they've ever been. And then the Rangers are like, okay, we're gonna do our best to defeat them.
Yeah.
And then they defeat them. It's like, okay, yay, we did it. But what's so unique about this fight scene is the fact that they showed how powerful Hera's is, like Sporix Beast
Nemesis
thing.
Beast.
Nemesis Beast.
Which is a
thank
badass
you.
name. I'm sorry, but it is. It's a decent name for a final beast to fight. I'm sorry, but
Oh yeah, that
it's
name
really
they hit the spot with that. I bet they were saving that. They had that on like a post-it note. They were like,
with somebody's hand over it all season long. They couldn't leave the building.
that had to be the name for the final boss, and it slaps. Like that name, Nemesis Beast. You hear that, and you're like, ooh, got shivers down my
And
spine.
I like the elements we get with it, where they have like the formation of that happening with Void Queen making it inside of Buzz Blast. Like Buzz Blast has made such a like big important thing for the series, and I really enjoyed that. Like it's such a like I don't want to say it's an Ernie's juice bar, but I mean it's just as important and like a home for people, almost like another character in a way. And to see it happen there. And like
it's a key setting to the show.
Yeah.
Like it's literally the job of two of the Rangers.
Yeah, all the lead up to it, like my man Tarek being like, "Give me that Dino Knight Morpher." Baba Boom becomes Void Armor and becomes Void Knight again, and like she hugs her dad, like be safe, and he helps out and fights just to give a little bit of justice to what got stolen from us from with Nada, of course.
Yeah.
And of course, I will say that was cool because he helped, blah 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 blah, whatever. How dare they destroy the Dino Knight Morpher? I am very offended.
I mean,
I
it's
would
not
like
like
a
they're going to use
written
it
apology
again,
mailed to me
but
from Simon Bennett, because that was offensive.
if he actually does that, that'd be hilarious. No, well, to be honest, they weren't going to use it again. But
It came back together in my house. It's fine.
you grabbed the pieces from that desert and single-handedly glued each piece together. You're a hero for that. But like I was saying, Nemesis Beast, right? Is that the name?
Yeah, Nemesis Beast. Yep.
Nemesis Beast is a god tier level final boss. Like I'm talking about like world demolition.
Right. And coming from someone who loved Rio Soldier like we both did, I wasn't really ever the biggest fan of the concept of Eros within the show anyway. Like I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Like it was very like not very last minute, but it should have been introduced a bit sooner than it was. And so like when I saw they were going to use it in this, I was like, really? And the way they did it was that, but like cranked up to 20 and like well executed, and like you said, with them in that scene, I don't know how they got in the sky. I don't remember how that happened.
I was going to get to that. I kept leading up to it, but I wasn't really getting to it. I'm sorry. The whole fight scene with them literally civilian-sized fighting on top of the Nemesis Beast is such a unique take that I have never seen Power Rangers do before.
Never.
I was going into this blind. I did not know.
So they were like, we got to go out with the fucking bang.
Especially since the Zords were gone.
A part of it.
Well, not gone, but they were very damaged. Like, they could not be used. This poor guy right here. Look at him. This poor guy right here. He could not have been used because he was very damaged from Nemesis Beast. So the Rangers took it upon themselves to go, okay, we need a distraction for Amelia to get inside of the flesh cockpit, or whatever Simon called it. The meat cockpit. So what are we going to do? Let's do what we always do.
Yeah.
Just
pull
fight.
out our fucking swords and kill people.
Especially the henchmen on like the wrists, the shoulders. Like they did such a good job choreographing this fight.
And did you notice that they did the poses from their morphs?
The poses from their morphing sequence hitting. That was such a good detail.
I'm so impressed that I was not angry that they didn't, because usually Power Rangers will just literally just use the exact poses from the Sentai. If it's not the straight Sentai morph footage, it's just they use the poses, right? No, Don Fury is like, that stuff don't care. It's cool. It's art. We have our own art to give you. And have their own individual poses, and they reiterate them in that fight. They do the Javi and Izzy thing where he uses two swords and she uses one of the spears.
Right.
Oh,
so good. It was so good. And just Zato's sacrifice.
Right?
It was
Which
hard
was
in Ryu
similar,
Soldier,
right?
but it was good here.
I was
It
impressed
was
that they
good
went with it
here.
because, like, I thought they were going to do it because they did the whole Dino Master Blade or Dino Master Sword, whatever they call it, and being the adaptation version of the Real Soul Calibur, right? And that also had a caveat to it, which be careful using it because you might fucking die. And so
Yeah,
like
like
they
the
use
final
the same,
attack.
right? So they use the same thing with this, and I was like, okay, that's cool, but they did it in their own way. And I noticed this rewatching it recently. I rewatched one of the episodes today. It was the finale, I think, before my kids were napping. And I picked out a really fun line from Zato right when he does that, when he finally lands the killing blow on the Eris Nemesis Beast monster thing. He says, "Goodbye, old friend," right to the T-Rex Zord. And like, sure, in Dino Fury, are they sentient? Do they speak? Nope, not a
No.
single lick of words. But you still felt it, and I was like, oh. And
It
then
was still
done,
powerful.
gone. And it's like, whoa. And then the Morphin Masters are like, blah, blah, blah. He's gone and dissipated into the Morphin Grid. And we're like, really? And
Look. Even though he does come back as Ghost Ranger, not the official name, but it's a fun name to
that's
call him.
what Russell Curry calls it, yeah.
He's gone. He was gone at least.
Yeah.
Like,
and like
that's it.
6 months go by with him not there. My man
Could
Ion
you
sets up
imagine
a
the
restaurant.
cast?
Right?
Yeah.
My man Ion sets up a restaurant. The Rafconians that are there on the planet, the refugees, are just like hanging out, and they made Area 62 they're like home now. We get Tarek and Santara in random fucking vacation clothes having a good time, and she's pregnant now with another baby.
All this going on, but Zato's gone.
Or is he? My man comes back in that suit. Let me speak on the suit, okay? Do I hate the suit? No. Should they have please just changed the helmet a little bit? Absolutely. But every bit of my I don't like itness can go in the garbage because, again, another behind the scenes thing came out about how when they did that, they weren't sure what they were going to do. They decided to redo the suit, whatever. And they, at that point, were right at the end of production, had very limited resources, limited filming time, did what they could do. Okay, cool. That's fine. And I was
The very fact that they decided to give Zato a new suit, not only just bringing him back, but also giving him
to do anything
a unique
suit,
an original suit, is honestly really, what's the word? Considerate?
Yes. Yeah.
Considerate. Yeah, like they didn't have to do that. Not one bit, especially after like the production closing for the show, They were like, what can we give the fans that is a cherry on top to the ending of this beautiful season? And they're like, let's just do something our own.
This is just nitpicky.
Little did they know
his Morpher was a little different
Cosmic
too.
Fury.
I mean,
look,
kinda.
If I had to create a theory, I guess the Morphin Masters, they grab Zato's spirit and they're like, okay, we are going to give you back your powers, but we're going to add just a little bit more grid power energy,
Yeah, because it's very Morphin Master-esque, absolutely.
Right, and then they make the suit all white and stuff, but they didn't really get rid of the core things. Right, we're gonna get into Cosmic Fury right now, but that's what I think. That's why the suit looks that way. But don't worry, because we're going to get new suits with new Zords and a whole new storyline. And what, Zachary? And what?
DINO-FURIOUS Season 3. Cosmic Fury.
Since the beginning of the franchise, we have only gotten 1 or later 2 seasons for a season. The only Power Rangers season that has gone 3 is, take a wild guess, guys. No, you'll never guess. Seriously. Guess. No. Second time. Guess.
Super Mega Force.
MMPR. Oh, you got it. Wow. Yeah, MMPR got 3 seasons. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It was the first season. They didn't really know where they were going direction-wise or format-wise. So, okay, 3 seasons. But for the rest, we went for a 1-season format. Neo Saban seasons got 2. Whatever.
And the cool thing, too, that I always will give credit to is Mighty Morphin through basically Lost Galaxy had this, what I like to call this revolving door cast, right? Where the characters would go on to have the new power set. Mighty Morphin eventually became the Zeo Rangers. Zeo powers, for some reason, were given up on and became the Turbo powers. And then Turbo became In Space. And then a character from In Space joined Lost Galaxy eventually. So we had this revolving thing, and it had this nice community and like legacy to it where they all kind of knew each other, right? So we're getting that. The cast entirely is coming back. 10 episodes
for 3
day
seasons.
1 coming in for Cosmic Fury. 10 episodes on Netflix day 1. No international spoilers. Bullshit. 10 episodes means no filler, by the way. There better not be any fucking filler.
There probably isn't any filler.
So there's that. It's carrying over the cast. Interesting thing with the adaptation, which ruffled a lot of feathers. Finally getting Q Ranger, but we're adapting it not the way you think so. They're adapting the mecha footage of Q Ranger, not the suits.
Not
and
the suits.
He stressed, we don't have the suits. Some people are like, oh, just a cameo. We don't have the suits.
And
Stop.
This isn't Simon lying on Twitter, or at least like misleading
not misleading
us with like
with
the Tiramigo thing.
Tiramigo thing. Yes.
Yeah, no, like this is just the final decision.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Q Ranger mech, which, by the way, can we just say how great this is to hear after hearing over and over again how Sentai and Power Rangers is no longer going to be connected with like the toy agreement. Like it was so annoying to hear that. To hear that the two franchises are going to continue working with each other.
Yes.
It's such a relief, because even though Power Rangers could go in 100% original direction, they could benefit from the Sentai footage or the Sentai suits or even the creatives that are behind the Sentai seasons. You know, because Power Rangers, as good as it is, has a lot to thank Sentai for what makes them great. You know? And
I do think
to completely get rid of that would be a very hard shift.
Yeah.
So to do a different direction with
Cosmic Fury
and the
suits and mecha.
Yes. Well, not the suits, but the mecha is what I'm trying to get at. By going in this direction of just adapting the mech is not only different, but also interesting. Because a lot of people want a Q Ranger. Oh, yes, please, 30th anniversary suits
Storms are coming
would be great. But even though we aren't getting the suits, it's still great to have the Q Ranger mech. You know,
we're getting original suits, and we're gonna talk about them. I'm gonna try sharing the screen. I don't know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Your screen.
Let's hope for the audio viewers. I'm sorry, but if you want to see what's on our screen, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Henshins and Homies.
Share. I'm gonna do it. I want the entire
video
screen. There, I got it. Just a minute. Okay.
It's gonna pop up right now.
Are we
Hey, here we are. You're seeing the behind the scenes.
Yes.
Just click the other tab. There we go. Yeah.
Here we go. So this is it. Dino Fury Green, Cosmic Fury Green and Cosmic Fury Gold. Some things to note that I really want to note, and I love. This will make it bigger. Thank God.
There we go.
So right here, I'm sorry, I'm throwing my hat in the game right now. My gamble is this is their version of the Morpher / we're going to basically do the Seiza Blaster. Because if you look here, let me zoom in. Yep. If you look here, right about here, looks very orb-esque in the mouth of the Morpher.
I wouldn't say in the front. I would say in the back. Look at the back.
Oh yeah,
that's very orb, Q-Tama-esque. You know?
So I'm thinking they're going to do that, which is just going to piss more people off. I love it looking similar to Zato's white Ghost Ranger suit thing. I love her original little daggers here, which I think were her weapon in the toy, like the basic toy line thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right, and I also love the armor piece. That's like a reference back to the Ravkonian armor that they were wearing. I wanted to mention this. Was this like after the call last time with Stick? But he said like, "Oh, I don't really like the way the chest plate looks," and I'm like, there's a reason why it looks like that, and that's the reason, because it looks a lot like the Ravkonian,
right? Which is really cool to involve that legacy of Zato's people in it. I think that's really cool to be part of the suits, and because it's assumed from the tiny comment we get with Zato at the end of Dino Fury Season 2, I've come back with new powers. Does he mean just his own powers, or is he ready to utilize his powers to create new powers for the team? That's the interesting is what's going to be the jump to get them to space. I also like the helmet. It's got a little bit of gold on the side there.
I mean,
difference.
The final episode of Dino Fury basically said like, oh, they had like a spaceship. They could just plop into space.
The base Dino-Hinge is, they've mentioned that before. Dino-Hinge is a spaceship. It crashed and like stuck in the ground. So they're just going to get out of the ground clearly, but. For what reason? It's assumed Lord Zed might be the main villain. We don't know for sure. I don't 100% know. I know Frankie won't love that, but it's possible.
If they do something to go with him, then I'll forgive it.
So what I do like, I noticed this the other day, Frankie. See the metal on her side, and then if you were to see her other side, it would look like gold here, where it's dark.
Right.
So I like how that is reminiscent though of the Rhea Soldier base suits, though, just upgraded a little bit, right? I love my man Ion's helmet look even more beautiful than it was before, and I love the fucking Mega Man cannon on the arm.
We are getting original weapons.
I
know that Power Rangers is going to do a great job with that. If I have to give Power Rangers credit for some stuff, one of the things would be okay, we'll get to that in a minute. The one of the things would be their weapons. Power Rangers does a great job with making original weapons. Like we've seen it in Beast Morphers, we've seen it in Dino Fury with the Dino Dagger. At first it was a little weird, but then I started to warm up to it, you know.
And the Mega Fury Saber in the cockpit being the fucking little sword from the
Mega Fury Saber.
Look at him. Look at him. This is my first Rhea Soul, so it's like the
I have that too, you know. As you can see.
Like
this sword right here. Aw, can your key not flip?
It can. My others, I have 2 other ones.
This can't. Womp womp. We didn't really get too much into the toys today, but that's a topic we'll talk about another time. We already touched upon it in our MMPR rant video. Right. But yeah, the belt. I don't like it. I don't like the belt. Yeah. I don't like the belt either, Zachary. It seems very
if these
forced.
Are like official, here we go, producing. There's a real suit. Maybe it'll look different in like physical form. I don't know. Something tells me maybe this isn't final, but maybe it is. I don't remember that being confirmed or not.
It probably is. They're already going to start.
But again, it feels space-esque, but also using the dinosaur aesthetic to it. I don't know how they're going to mesh that very well with the Q Ranger footage. That kind of worries me. But especially
they're not going to use Q Ranger.
You can see them in it, piloting it when they do the Q Ranger.
They'll do something, but I know that they, at least for the ground fights, is 100% original.
Exactly.
Like that's all going to be their own spin on, you know, the season, because it is their own original season. They're just borrowing, just like how MMPR borrowed like the Die Ranger mechs for their season. Like they're basically
and the Cock Ranger mechs and the Cock Rangers themselves.
You know, Power Rangers like to rip off a lot of things. Right, like, and look how that one Ranger became like the Ranger for the MMPR team. Yeah, look, I love these suits. They're undoubtedly the Dino Fury cast and suits, but more original. It's great. There it is. I love it.
What's up? I want to just appreciate this piece of art here, because I'm telling you right now, I love most of Jungle Fury. I can't stand both in Geki Ranger and in Jungle Fury. The White Rhino Ranger's dumb big-ass morpher. It's the same thing I hate about the morpher for Patrin / Lupin X. It's just too fucking big. You can't conceal that shit at all. At least in Jungle Fury, they had the thing where you can make it like a bracelet, and you'd be like, boop, and they would turn it to the, I don't know if it sounded like a scanner at a fucking grocery store, but but I want them not to have a way to conceal it, because what's the point of even a civilian identity if they're in space? And I want Ion to just always have an arm cannon on, and he just never is any smaller, and he's just doesn't even have an arm.
I mean, he's in space. It's not like let's be real. They're visiting other planets. Does it really matter? Does he really have to hide his identity from them?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, so, like, I'm really excited.
This bothers me. This bothers me right here. The middle of the suit has nothing that's there, and I think that I saw a mock-up 2 of them, and then they combined them, and I was like, yes. One mock-up had the Rhea Soldier little zigzag in the middle still, and another one had like a galaxy gradient to the suit with like stars or whatever in it, which maybe we'll see more detail of that in the show. I don't know. That would be cool. My worry is that these are final, and if they are, it's going to take a lot of getting used to, because a big thing of Power Rangers is how evocative just the suits are on their own, especially the center, where you're like, oh, I was drawn to what? I guess this the like, chess piece thing here.
It
I
looks a lot
suppose.
more noticeable on the female suits than the male suits, because if you look at Ion, the chest plate is a lot bigger,
It comes down
and
farther. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that
That's
bad.
good.
I'm
That's
not
good.
gonna make the biggest judgment on these suits after
No.
I've just like made the judgment of like the
What?
century for the past 10 minutes, until
Fair
we
enough.
see. Hi, we're back. Until we see the real suits and like
Hmm.
set photos of them, because for media day they take set photos of their suits and stuff. I want to see these suits in real life. I want to see what they do with that. Um, as for
I'm pumped.
predictions, I mean, they could do whatever they want. We have no idea what they're gonna
Yeah,
do, because this time
yeah.
around,
That
like,
was a
they're
trick
not
thing to put in the
adapting.
title. I don't have a fucking idea. I
Imagine.
just don't.
No, I mean, to be honest, because with previous seasons, you could kind of predict where the show is gonna go just by looking at the Sentai. As much as they could try to be different from it, or some cases don't even try at all, they still have to follow. Oh, why, hello, Mr. Shiny. He is so shiny. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's a
We didn't
family-friendly
see
podcast.
that. After we like dropped the F-bomb so many times. No, it's explicit, guys. But what I was damn it, Zachary, what was I saying? Um
Distracted.
oh yeah, so like they can't they can't go too far from the Sentai footage. We have a basic idea of where they're gonna go in the series. This time around, because it's original,
Just
like
the mecha?
everything. Yeah, like the mecha fights, I feel like isn't really gonna tell you anything about the story, right?
No,
The only thing it's gonna tell you is the monsters they're fighting,
I have some
and
theories that some of the lion-esque things, like Shishi Voyager and the other power-uppy ones that he gets later with Shishi Orion and all of that, will be, maybe, I'm
if we ever get
hoping,
it.
because I love Kelson Henderson so much, bring back. I didn't have a single fucking problem with Mick at all. I loved Mick and Ninja Steel. Bring him back and have him, since he's from the Lion Galaxy, have him come back and he create. Oh yeah, I'll make you some. I'll make you some mecha. I got you, baby.
I'll be
Just
so
makes
honest
lion
with
mecha
you.
for them.
I love this idea. I love it, and I'll be honest with you. That's probably what they're gonna do,
That would
because
make the most
that's
sense
the
to me.
only thing that they should be doing. Bring
Yes.
him back.
Right.
Uh, yeah, that
Yeah.
would be the coolest thing ever, to make that Lion Zord from his planet. Because
Right.
hello, we're visiting
Well, they
planets.
have
We're a
so
space
much
team.
opportunity here, maybe, of what they could do with things. Because with it being 10 episodes, it's scary for me. They could, what we've been wanting to do forever is be able, with like a Two Ranger thing, which is to explore the other planets we've talked about in Power Rangers lore, Triforia, Neo 35, Miranoi, like all these planets we know aliens are from, Aquitar, whatever. And that's what people are hoping for was going to happen with the Q Ranger adaptation, being the footage of the fights and like the suit and Mecha. But they could do something like that. They could have them visiting some of those planets for whatever reason, whatever the plot jump in is.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of really interesting things that they could do with it. And there's going to be surprises aplenty. The whole thing is going to be a giant, as far as what
And
they're doing, because it's all original fight footage.
I'll say this: we didn't know Cosmic Fear was gonna happen.
No,
We didn't know.
Nope.
So who's to say that in the future, if Cosmic Fury is that successful, that they won't make it into a movie?
right? Or they won't
You know?
follow it up, or having the Q Ranger suits show up in some other format somewhere else.
Maybe they maybe just like how MMPR like gives away their powers to like a new cast. Maybe this Cosmic Fury team gives it to a whole new cast, and that's
Mhm.
where we get the 10 Rangers. Oh well, it's up in the air. We know how Simon
Don't
feels
let those
about the
poor
10
Q
Rangers.
having their trauma, their shared trauma. It's okay.
It's okay, guys. We're getting this. We're eating good. Okay, eat your plate. We're eating good.
It's just
All right.
broccoli.
I just have to say that as a Power Rangers fan, I'm really happy with what's going on right now. I think I haven't been this proud of the fandom in a long time.
Parts.
In a long time.
Hey, whoa. Parts of
Part
fandom.
part
Parts.
I'm mainly talking about the shows. And with the
Yes.
shows come with the toys, and with the toys, you know, like all that part of the fandom. I'm not talking about like the community. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. But I'm mainly talking about the fact that Power Rangers is being handled so well right now.
And the
I can
future's so bright.
I could
I
see
know
the
that's
love and
corny as hell
care
to say.
with seasons like with seasons like Ninja Steel and Samurai. Was the love there? I'm sure it was, but was it shown?
Well, and
A
it was,
little.
and now we know the tragedy that how much it was restricted and held back by the powers that be, and now that's not a thing.
Exactly, but
You know,
now
say
that
what you will about
it's
Netflix, say what you
gone,
will about the binge model and blah 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 blah. I'm not the biggest fan of them releasing it all at once because I feel like a good example is Stranger Things. Right, Stranger Things season will come out, everybody right through it, talk about it 2 weeks, done.
done.
Who's still talking about Stranger Things? Nobody. It's a good series.
No
I
one.
love it, but most recent season was amazing. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Because that's what happens when you go all the episodes.
Maybe they'll release them single episode at a time. We don't know yet. We don't know. Like things could change. Agreements could change. But yeah, no. The series right now, the franchise, especially for its 30th, woohoo, 30th, is in good hands. I'm happy to say that it's in good hands right now.
Even if I'm not the biggest Mighty Morphin fan, I am happy for the Mighty Morphin fans. There's like this whole like 30th anniversary series
Spin-off,
movie,
not
spin-off
spin-off.
special thing.
It's like a
and
sequel.
It's possible that we're getting like in universe connecting that Trini's actor, God rest her soul, who died in a car crash awfully in like 2001. That Trini in universe will have passed away, and her daughter takes up the role of her power set. And she's the Yellow Ranger.
I love the actress already.
Yeah, it's her. Then Kat's coming back as Pink, and I believe it's
Rocky?
David
Rocky,
Yost
right?
and Rocky and Walter. What's his name? Walter Jones. Zach Ranger. Zach Black Ranger. Jesus. Sorry.
So we're getting the whole cast back for a reunion,
and, like,
basically.
The best of it, honestly, of the seasons of 1 through 3, in my opinion. Honestly, I think that most people would agree with that.
Since they're filming at the same time, too, maybe there will be some sort of crossover, too.
It's
you know,
possible. I do know
never
that there was that shareholders thing where they made it fairly clear they're separate, but maybe we don't know. I'll keep going.
I mean, they're separate projects. That's no doubt. They're separate projects, but maybe at least one of them cameos. And again, having MMPR being like another season, I personally wouldn't want it. But if they do a really good job, especially having the original actors back, no one would hate it. Like, everyone loves MMPR. Well, you know, for the most part. And if you're gonna like anything about MMPR, it's the cast. So the fact that the cast is back is huge, you know.
And to have David Yost come back after all of the stuff he faced, the homophobia and everything that he faced, to want to come back is really big.
I love him.
Somebody did
He's
well
so strong
to bring
for that.
him back. So
yeah.
And I want to end
and
it
watch
with
him.
this.
Watch him eat everybody up. Like, watch.
Yes, I want to end it with
telling
this, saying that for the longest time, the reason I've jumped so far into Super Sentai and Kamen Rider and all that stuff is for the longest time, my connection to Power Rangers has been broken. I've not given a shit, and I've not cared. And this is the first time where every single episode all the way through I have cared about. And I'm excited for what the future holds for it for the first time in years. Years. Like, literally since Dino Charge, even before that, I had lost hope, honestly, around there too. RPM, pretty much. I'd given up. I was like, there's no point. And now it's got so much more freedom, and they care, and I'm so excited to where things are going to go. So
if they play their cards right, things will be good.
The Power Rangers are in the MCU now. That's confirmed from Kevin Page. They're part of the MCU.
Imagine, like, freaking Aisha fighting next to, like, I don't know, the Wasp. Oh, is she still going to be around? I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode of Henshins and Homies. It was so fun. We don't know our topic yet, but we'll come up with it and let you guys know on Twitter. So if you want to be updated on all that stuff, make sure to follow us on Twitter to know when we're live and, you know, time changes.
At Rio Rider Red Henshin, Sergeant Hooked on Heroes over here. And the Henshins.
He can't even remember his name. Oh my god.
And we have an official YouTube channel that's just this. Going forward, they're all going to stream right to that YouTube channel. So
this YouTube channel is the official channel. And if you're tuning in on Google, Amazon, Spotify, or Apple, thank you for supporting us through those websites as well. Honestly, guys, I have so much fun recording these episodes, and if you are enjoying it, then we're going to make so many more in the future. So please
Absolutely.
stay tuned for them.
And
all right?
be active in the comments. Let us know ideas, things you want us to talk about, people you want us to have on. We're totally open to that. We're a big, open, happy community here. But until next time, see you later. Stay hooked in Heroes, on Toku.
Have
May
a
the power
cool,
protect
cool,
you,
coolio day.
That's
Okay?
right. Smooth.
I said it, guys. I said it. All right.
Bye.
Take care.
There we go.